It is owned by a limited company in the UK itself, and they had a widespread range of branches in Africa, India, Burma, and what was called Ceylon then. And offices in Ceylon were in Colombo, Kandy, and Nuwara. Well, I had no particular ambition to be a banker, but it was inevitable because my grandfather was a banker. He was succeeded by my father in the same capacity, and I had no option perhaps except to be drawn into the same profession. My grandfather started in Nuwara, as I told you. My father succeeded him in Nuwara. He was transferred to Kandy on promotion, I think. That's the year I was born, roughly. And I succeeded him in Kandy in 1947. And I had a spell of 40 years in the bank. Not exactly 40 years in the British bank, about 25 years in the British bank, and somewhere midway the British banks were asked to Celonize their branches in Ceylon, and the Kandy branch became a Celonized bank called Hatton National Bank Limited. So I took over as the first manager of that bank and continued for another 15 years, totaling about 40 years as a banker. In those days, there was no question of sitting in the big seat straight away. You start right at the bottom. You do the PN's work first, and then get on to the junior clerks or junior cashier's work, and then only you graduate to some sort of responsible job. It took me 5 years for my father to permit me to sit in his seat. That's how it worked those days. The dignity of labor was instilled into you right from the start. Most of the officers who came from abroad to man the banks were from Scotland, and most of the employees were from Jaffna. Jaffna is sometimes called the Scotland of Ceylon. I suppose because both are equally tight-fisted, the Scottish man and the Jaffna man. I'm not saying that disparagingly, but they had a reputation of being very careful with their money, shall we say. And so we clicked wonderfully. The job that we held was a very responsible one in that we were, as guarantee shroffs, we were personally responsible for all transactions. We were responsible for the recruitment of the staff and also all the transactions of the bank. So it was a very responsible job for which we had to have people of our own choice. So it was largely boys from Jaffna, but there was a small sprinkling of Sinhalese boys also. It was, I think, an accepted practice, because if you are held personally responsible, then you must have persons of your own choice. There was no alternative. And it worked well, it was accepted well. But my father did take a fair number of local people, and I also continued to do that. In fact, when I became the first manager of Hatton National Bank and opened 2 sub-branches, I appointed 2 Sinhalese as managers of those branches. As manager of the Kandy branch in the 70s, I recruited many Sinhalese, aggregating to over 50% of the staff at the Kandy branch.